If it's not going to be me editing it, it's not going to be you, it's going to be me.
It's going to be you.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Can We Talk. Today I have Dbcxptures in the building.
Can you say my name properly though?
Okay, what is it? No, what is it?
It's Dbcxptures. Where did you get the D's?
Okay, so today I have Dbcxptures in the building.
Yeah, you're still doing it because that's not my name.
Today I have Dbcxptures in the building.
Yay! Very good. We got the yeah.
I don't know why I've always said DCB.
Is that what you've been saying?
DBC. Oh no, I've always said DCB.
Do you not?
Anyway, no. Anyway, yeah. So today we're going to be talking to him about how he started his career as a photographer. How something that became a side hustle ended up with him filming or taking pictures of Burna Boy on. In Afro Nation. I'm going to edit that out.
I know you are.
Okay. In Afro Nation. Should we start again? That was a good one though, wasn't it?
That.
Maybe we should just edit this shit out, no?
I'll keep it in.
You keep it in?
You know me, I like the natural shit.
Fine. Okay, well, we're going to go back to the interview. Okay. Dbcxptures.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, yes, I started out as a creative, 13 years ago. So, when I was basically 16, my brother had a production company, so he was into theatre and drama and all that kind of stuff. And basically the plays that he used to do, he wanted to like sell it to people who'd come and see it basically, because they enjoyed it, but they never see it at the time. So he got a camera and he was just like, look, I'm going to film it. Can you edit it? So all it is I just know how to do IT. I don't have any interest or any knowledge prior to like creating video. I know nothing. He just asked me and I'm his brother. And to be honest, I probably couldn't even really say no because he might beat me up. So I was like...
So he's your older brother?
He's my older brother.
Okay.
But I'm very grateful. So he was just like, yeah, can you do it? I was like, alright, fine. So I went on the internet. I just literally just searched what do you use to edit. Figured out it was Adobe Premiere Pro. I had a Windows like PC at the time. I opened up the program. I literally didn't do any tutorials. I just learned how to use it. I just put something together.
Okay.
I was like, this is cool. This is alright. This is somewhat enjoyable. And it worked out really well. Like we were able to do like really like clean edits and stuff like that for the first time. And I was like a 16-year-old kid. I didn't really think much of it because as much as I knew I was a creative because I did music as a kid and stuff like that, video and pictures just wasn't in my ball game. The biggest reason is because I'm partially sighted. So I can't see. Am I allowed to swear on the show?
I'll beep it out.
Huh? I can't swear. No, I don't have to swear.
No, you can swear. I feel like be your authentic self. This is your platform too. You know what I mean? Because you're speaking.
Fair enough. I can't see for shit. Basically, I cannot see for shit. And so it wasn't even in my head. I'm just like, nah, this creative stuff wasn't for me. But anyway, Lord knows, it happened. So further down the line, I'm getting a bit older and I'm doing this kind of theatre production thing for a little bit. I'm filming a little bit and stuff like that. And so where I was at the time, so I used to go to a church and the church I was in, some people would ask me, can you do wedding videos? Now, they know I can't do it.
Hold on. So if you're partially sighted, how do you do what you do then? Okay,
so there's two tricks behind it. On my Canon camera, for example, and I realised this later down the line and I'll explain, but on my Canon camera, for example, there's a zoom button. So what I do is I kind of take a little bit more time than most photographers would to do pictures.
Okay.
The reason being is because sharpness is usually like the biggest thing. So when I'm taking a picture, for example, if I've got a bride and groom, I don't know, say for instance I'm doing some wedding photos of them, whatever, press the zoom, make sure it's sharp, and then I take the picture.
Okay.
Because the zoom, what it does is it basically enlarges it. It enlarges it enough that I can see that I'm in focus and stuff like that, and I can press it. The other thing as well is that although I am partially sighted, even without the zoom button, there is a degree of sharpness that I can see even without it. And as years have gone on, I've learned to basically do it more. When I first started, it was really bad because the screen is really small and, you know, it was much more difficult. But again, because of the zoom button and because I guess it's just natural for me what I see in my eye, even though I can't see it that much. It became easier. So now I don't even necessarily need the zoom button now. I can almost just know when it's in focus and I can just take it.
Okay. And has that ever like starting off? Obviously, you said you started off with your brother asking you to edit, and then you went to a church. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the only reason was I wanted us to not get so deep into the story that we don't pick up the small things along your journey. So obviously being partially sighted, was that ever a big hindrance for you?
Massive one.
Okay.
I mean, I've had I think I've only ever had one major, I'd say, negative experience in terms of a wedding. Not even, sorry, it wasn't a wedding, it was a birthday party. And I was taking pictures, and it was stuff to do with my equipment and stuff like that. But I didn't have a clue of what I was doing. Because at that point, although I had been doing videos for a long time, pictures was a completely different ballgame. And pictures came a lot down the line, but I'll explain after I finish the story. But I remember that one, it was just bad, it was out of focus, it was dark. The venue didn't help and stuff like that, so it wasn't just me being careless, but it was just like, it was the worst experience for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the fact that I had a client who was unhappy. Like, it didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
So I just said to myself, all right, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this so that this doesn't happen again. So again, I just started doing research. I did research for myself, and then I started, let me go a little bit back. So I did the weddings for a little bit. The weddings went really well. I had some partners to help me as well, which made stuff easier, who could see. And I was just like managing things and stuff like that. So I did that for a couple of years, and then I stopped because I got really, really frustrated with the whole thing. Because...
With not being able to see?
No, just actually shooting videos.
Oh, okay.
But very frustrated. As good as the money can be, it is really tiresome.
Okay.
And there's a lot of work. Okay. And sometimes you can do the best that you can, and people are still not happy because it's not what they expected based on what you can do. So I stopped for a few years, left it, was doing my normal career job, working for the NHS bar as well. And so what happened was, I had some videos up on my Instagram, and a very good friend of mine was like, I'm getting married, I know you do this stuff, I've seen a few stuff, can you just send me over what you've done? I'd stopped doing weddings, this is a good 3-4 years now. So I was like, alright, cool, whatever. So I sent it over to him. He's like, we want you to shoot our wedding. I was like,
damn.
Okay. Honestly,
I don't really want to, but...
I don't know, I didn't really want to, I cannot lie to you. Just the whole stress of it. But you know what, I did it. He's a very close friend of mine. He trusted me, so I was like, let me do it. So anyway, shot the wedding. Had probably one of the best weddings I've ever shot to date. It was so much fun. Obviously, it's one of my boys, so I'm going there shooting a wedding, but I'm also enjoying it as well at the same time. Shot the wedding, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Released the video. We had a little clip there where basically they walked out to gigs, whipping excursion. So basically, he reposted it. It blew up. It went viral. And I started I got bookings the following year, basically my whole year filled up.
Really? Just from that? Yeah. And did that reignite your love for photography and...
At this point, I'm not doing photography yet. Photography came later down the line.
So, okay.
Yeah. I'm just doing video at this point.
Okay, so how do we get to the point of you doing video and then you shooting Burna Boy Afro Nation?
So, the background behind that is twofold. So, after I did the wedding, I'm doing the wedding for a bit. It gets to a point where in the wedding, just out randomly, I decide to take a picture here or there. And there were certain weddings that I was doing where certain pictures were better than what the photographer was doing. To the point where the bride and groom were asking me, can I have them and stuff like that, which I thought that was pretty dope. Again, I'm not into photography at this point, but I'm just like, I like it. It got to the point where I do enjoy video, but photography was like, I really like this. So basically what happened was okay, I need to figure out how to do this, but I don't know how. So I remember putting out a call. And so this is, the reason why there's background behind this is because this is the reason kind of why my social media is important to what I do. Okay. Because it isn't even just, I take stuff to go viral. I don't even do it for that. It's just, there's a background behind it. So I remember I was starting out, I didn't have any experience. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put out a tweet. And I'm going to say, anyone who wants to do a free photo shoot, just holler at me and I'll do it. So I did this for about a year. And I just...
3 photo shoots for a year?
Yeah, for a year. I didn't ask for no money. I had a very good job, still do. I didn't need the money. I just wanted the experience, but I also wanted to learn, and I also wanted to know if I'm actually going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
I did it for a year, but it meant that I built up this following kind of without me knowing, because I got to meet people, and the thing that I love about meeting people is I love hearing their story. So before I shoot them, I always talk to them. Like, I was like, what do you want the pictures for? Like, what are you? What kind of person are you? And so that kind of was the background behind the way that I shoot, because I shoot trying to tell a story. I did it for a year, and I built a little portfolio, and it was going really, really well. So I remember a very good friend of mine, I can't remember what it was, but yes, now I remember. So Ella Mai was coming to the UK, and a friend of mine kind of manages what she does and stuff like that in terms of like the event and stuff like that. And out of nowhere, she was just like, "Do you want to shoot like Ella Mai?"
And is this your first like big thing after this whole year of free shoots?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, so that was my first music event. So I did. Okay. So prior to that, I was doing a few club nights here and there. I was getting into it because after a year, I said to myself, my plan was I'm going to do a year of free shoots. I'm going to do a couple of events in between that time for free, and then I'm eventually going to start charging. And that's exactly what I did. Okay. And I charged a year after. So it got to a point now. So obviously at this point, I'm like, I've never really thought about music concerts, because I just thought to be doing music concerts, you got to be experienced, and I'm still thinking about my eyesight, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So she's like, oh, do you want?
But at this point though, is your eyesight still a problem for you? Because now you found a way to work. Yes, it is true. Okay.
But the other side of it is, even though I can shoot like that, a lot of that is based on patience. Okay. If I'm in a music show or event, for example, I don't have that kind of patience. Yeah. Because if I miss a shot, I'm screwed. Yeah. Because things happen quite quickly. Yeah. So again, I'm still apprehensive about entering that kind of field. Even events to a degree, I have a little bit of time and patience, because it's an event, people are there for a long time. If I don't get the shot at one time, I can go back and do it, blah, 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 blah. But I'm just like, whatever. So she always at me, she's like, oh, do you want to shoot Ella Mai? So I'm like,
Duh, I want to shoot Ella Mai. What kind of question is that?
I'm just going to sit there going, no, you know what, I'm going
Nah, that's it.
So I was just like, yeah. And I was just like, okay, cool, alright, fine. So, get there now. Obviously, just put my camera, my two lenses. I'm standing there, getting a pic. I'm like, this is amazing. It was incredible. Like I was around probably like 5 or 6 other photographers, because they can all be from like different magazines. And stuff. And I felt, and I'm just there, and I'm just like, you know, basically when you do these shows, you're only allowed to shoot 3 songs, and you're not allowed to use flash. Okay. Because
is that because that's distracting to the artist?
Exactly.
Okay.
So they only really want to see your face for 3 songs, unless you're hired by the artist, as in you've come with the artist, as in you're part. Then there's a different story. But even still, they still beat you after 3 songs. So I'm saying, like, first song comes on, I'm just like, this is amazing. Like, there's a full. We're talking thousands of people behind me. This is at the O2 in Shepherd's Bush. Thousands of people behind me. I'm like, this is mental. Took pictures, blah 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 blah. And I remember just like when it all ended and we got out and stuff like that. I was like, oh no, that actually happened. Like, because to me it was surreal. A year ago I was doing 3 shoots and I had no idea that that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. Now I'm sitting here taking pictures of Ella Mai. And I was just like, I was blown away. Like, so blown away. So, it goes on now, I'm shooting for a little bit. I'm doing more events, I get like more opportunities, all stuff is happening. It's freaking amazing. So, let's get to Afro Nation now. So I'm trying to go to Afro Nation. I booked my ticket, stuff like that. All ready to go, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Didn't have in my mind about shooting. Didn't have in my mind about doing anything creative. I just wanted to get drunk.
But you had your kit with you.
Yes. So let me tell you the reason why, and it is a miracle. About a week ago, I remember talking to my friend, and I said to them, "Oh, do you think I should take my camera, like just to take pictures of like the event itself, like when I'm there, pictures of my friends, stuff like that." She's like, "No, don't take it, because you work like I work like late into the night, stuff like that. Yeah. Like, don't take it, leave it at home." And so I was planning to. I was gonna leave it. I can leave my MacBook and leave my whatever. I had a client that I did a wedding for, and they were on my case to do it by a certain timeline. So because I knew I was going to be in Afro Nation for about a day before it started, I said, oh, you know what? Let me just take it with me. I'll take my camera because I want to take pictures of like whatever, and I'll take my MacBook because I want to finish this deadline.
Yeah.
Get it over to them, and done and dusted, yeah. And I promised I would. So that was the literally. If it wasn't for that deadline, I would never would have taken my stuff with me. And the other thing was, which is the shocking thing, is there's stuff on my hard drives that I need to edit, like stuff that I use. Again, it's only because of that deadline I took it with me. Otherwise, I would have left it home. Okay. So now I'm here now. So I'm doing this deadline or whatever. This affirmation, whatever. I barely even take my camera out, if I'm being honest with you, because I don't want these people to smash my camera. It's really expensive, you know. So I barely even take it out. No, because listen, you're not going to give me the money back. Who cares? So I barely take it out. So anyway, the story unfolds. I'm wasted off of. I think I'm drinking like brown liquor or rum or something.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was drinking heavy.
That right, nephew.
Oh man, I was drinking heavy. We went from London to Portugal, so we had it in our room. So I was drinking heavy that day. So basically, obviously I checked Twitter. Someone had added me in a tweet. This is Thursday. Burna Boy's performing in the night. Someone added me a tweet. Burna Boy's looking for videographer, photographer. If you're in blah 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 blah, like at the videographers you want to. So I saw one person at me in the tweet. So I was like, looked at it. I was like, oh, that's sick, man. So I thanked the person for adding me because I thought that's really nice of them, and I just went on with my day because
you didn't think anything of it. You just thought, oh, why is he gonna see my name?
We need to understand something. There are 20,000 people in Portugal. That's the first thing. And I guarantee you there are better videographers and photographers than that.
Oh, well, not, apparently not.
Well, make a compelling argument. I see where you're coming from there. But that's what I thought. So the one person that added me, I'm just like, thank you very much. You know, very optimistic of you, but thank you. Do you know what I mean?
Optimistic. Oh, that's killing me because you're just there thinking, no. In my head, yeah, I'd be like, so you've even added me to embarrass me.
Yeah, exactly.
You've even added my name to embarrass me.
It's so funny. But here's the background to it. The only reason that... Sorry, let me unfold. So that one person added me, I ignored it, went down. A couple more people start adding me. Again, I'm not thinking of it. I'm just like, oh, you guys are sick, man. Thank you. So I'm making sure I thank everyone, whatever. It starts gaining traction now. My phone just keeps buzzing. More people add me. I'm just like, huh?
That's that 1 year support base you built.
Exactly. Because, and I did this unknowingly. I was just sharing the fact that I started out doing photography because I just wanted to shoot some free pictures and I just enjoyed it, to shoot Ella Mai, and I shared a lot of the pictures that I did. I shared my story. I shared where I came from, and people genuinely were like, they used it as like, oh, anyone can do it, and that was the whole point. It was to say, look, me being a partially sighted brother, I could do it. There's no way that you guys can't because I have a massive disability. So anyway, so my phone buzzing. It's getting a bit ridiculous. I'm wasted at this point, so I'm not really too coherent on what's going on, but I'm aware something's going on. So anyway, one of my closest friends, my best friend anyway, knows one of the singers is Burna Boy's BV. So Burna Boy's BV calls my best friend.
I'm so sorry. What's BV?
What's her name? Christina.
No, what's BV?
Oh, backing vocalist.
Oh, okay.
Are you not BV, man?
No.
Sorry, that was a music.
I'm not a part of that.
Sorry, I apologize.
I was like, BV? Okay.
I wasn't very nice to be there. I just assumed you.
Yeah, just assume that I'd know.
I'm sorry, it's my bad. So she called backing vocalist. So she called my friend, and so my friend was like, oh, wants to talk to you. Right. Huh?
Who wants to talk to you?
Backing vocalist.
They want to talk to you?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. Picked up the phone. She was like, we've been seeing everyone at you in these tweets. I said, yeah. Can you do it?
Oh.
I said, yeah. So I say it all the time. As soon as she said, can you do it? I was automatically sober. Straight away. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, can you do it? Have you got your stuff on you? I said, yeah. I was alright, cool. Come tonight. We'll let you in, get your pass, blah, blah, blah. You're going to shoot video, you're going to shoot photos for Burna Boy set tonight. I said, no. I said, alright, cool. So...
And that was that?
That was that.
And that was history then?
I remember tweeting it. I remember saying, guys, we did it. And everyone was like, why are you saying we? I said, because this would not have happened without everyone else.
Yeah.
And and I kept that mentality, because that for me was how I didn't want to get ahead of myself. Because I'm telling you, it is because of the way people supported me.
Yeah.
So like, when people look at like the fact that I have a social media following, it's not because I was just trying to be popular. I was generally just sharing my story and people supported me without asking. That for me, I'll forever be grateful for, because they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just mad to me. So obviously I'm just like, this is crazy. So I remember we're at the festival at this point. So I have to go home and charge my batteries. Because I wasn't prepared. Jump in the Uber, go home, pack my stuff, get everything ready. And I'll never forget it, because it's very significant for me. Packed my bags, I went into the room. I went to go and lie down because we had a couple of hours. I just burst out crying.
Really?
Like, burst out crying.
Why?
Well, because 6 months prior to all of this happening, I was trying to take my own life. So I didn't think I was going to be there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very surreal for me. I didn't think I was going to be there. And I shared a lot of my story about stuff that I battled with, going through depression, stuff like that. So 6 months prior to that, I had no idea I was going to be here.
Yeah.
I was that close. And then like 6 months down the line, I'm now about to take pictures of an artist who I admire so much in like a realm that I didn't think would actually, that's where it would come from. I was a little bit shocked. So I was like, alright, cool. So it was just very overwhelming. So I just cried tears, man, wiped them, went to sleep.
That must have been very surreal for you. Because if you decided to go through with your decision, then you would, I mean, not to say that particular moment made you think, oh yeah, life is worth living, but it's an opportunity that you, how do I say this? You were in a better space 6 months down the line.
Yes.
And this moment was big enough for you to think, damn, like,
it was worth it.
It was like, I'm here.
Yeah. No, but that like literally that is it to a T.
Yeah.
Because as things unfolded, it wasn't even just the Burna Boy opportunity for me, which was big as well. It was everything that was happening. It was the fact that I was using my social media at the time to vent about stuff about how I'm feeling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was using like my own personal diary because I was like, man, sometimes you just gotta get stuff off your chest, no matter how you're feeling. And you never know, someone might understand it, someone might be in the same place and it might help them because you're talking about how you're feeling and how you're getting through and what you're doing and whatever. So all of that was all a part of it, was all a part of the story was unfolding. And then obviously I'm sitting there thinking, wow, man, Burna Boy, that's mad, it's crazy. So, first one, we get there.
Not to interrupt, but I am interrupting. I want to go back to you mentioning that you were so close to taking your own life. Let's say someone's watching and they're probably in the same space. What stopped you? I know that's a personal question, I'm sorry.
No, but because people have asked me before. The main reason I didn't was actually because of my kids.
Okay.
Because I remember, and it wasn't because I feel guilty or stuff like that. It was literally this. I remember saying, if I take my own life now, my kids will grow up, may struggle the way that I do, and feel as though their way out is exactly what their dad did. And I remember saying I didn't want to be the story of my kids giving up. And that was
that's
it.
deep. Oh, wow.
And that was literally it. Because people will say, oh, you don't want to do it because your kids are going to feel sad. That wasn't why. Because at the end of the day, as much as I know my kids will feel sad, and it will be sad, that doesn't stop people from taking their own lives.
Okay.
Because it's still a struggle internally. But for me, it was literally, you know what? I don't want to be the reason that they don't have a fighting chance. And if I can still keep going in spite of the fact that I don't want to, then it's got to be enough for me to stay here.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't.
Okay. Well, thank God you didn't. I wouldn't be sitting here with you, would I?
No, you wouldn't, would you? No, you wouldn't.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about... The thing is, right, when you hear about photographers, I don't know, unless you're in the business, you don't really know who the photographer is, right? You see a picture and you don't know who the videographer is or who the photographer is. But you seem to have made your name as a photographer. Like, you are known for your photography.
I guess so.
Humble brag. Shameless brag.
Shameless brag. I guess so.
How does that feel? Is that because you're very interactive on social media? Is it because of that 3 year of photo shoots? Like, it just seems like when you think about photography, the person you think about is you. And that's hugely a part of that whole Burna Boy opportunity you had. Absolutely. But is that also because of how social you are, using your social media?
I would say it's probably the Burna Boy elevated what was kind of already there from before. Okay. And that was just the fact that I've always said to people, I'm going to be open and honest about how I feel. Because at the end of the day, for me, no one can use what I go through against me. And that's just always been my mentality. If you come and say to me, man, you're always depressed, you're always sad, like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. Hey, some people say that to you.
Oh, man.
Nah. Okay,
That's a real life, I've had that on social media. That's a real life struggle.
Oh.
And so, but I even said to people, like, do you know what? That doesn't move me. Because the reality of it is that you don't know me.
Yeah.
You're only saying that based off of what you've seen from me and based off of your own assumption. You have no idea who I am. You don't know what it took for me to stay here today.
Yeah.
You don't know the internal struggles I've gone through. And you have no idea the kind of people who have supported me and been, like, I've had my back when I was at my lowest. So
when people don't know your story, it's so easy for them to talk.
Exactly. So that's what I said. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to... And also because... we don't have enough of it. Like, I grew up, I wasn't very much on social media growing up, but I didn't have anyone I could look up to and say, do you know what, he struggles like me, and, no, thank God, man. Like, I don't feel like I'm by myself kind of thing.
Yeah.
You had your odd pockets here and there, but you never kind of had that figure. My dad wasn't like that either. My dad, even if he did make mistakes, I'm none the wiser. So it was like, I was just, in my head, I was just like, you know what? Even before the whole photography thing, because I generally didn't have a desire to be famous as a photographer. I didn't have that desire whatsoever. It wasn't in my mind. I just wanted to take pictures and eventually take pictures of people that, yes, they were in a prominent place and I could say that I did that, but I wasn't trying to be this, I wasn't trying to be that at all. However,
so you were on social media beforehand?
I was way beforehand.
Oh, was it?
Way beforehand.
Are you going to find tweets about you insulting dark-skinned women?
Not in this life. Not in the next life, not in the life after, not in the life before, not in an alternate universe. You won't even find it in my dream.
Wow.
Wow. Mad.
Wow.
So this is a side note. When all of that nonsense came out, do you know the funny thing was? I was on people tweeting, I know people are searching it. I know people search my name. I know. Go and look. In fact, go and deep look. You will look. Me.
Okay, but... right now, that's a huge thing.
It's a very huge thing, and it's diabolical. It's very. Look, I did not have a phase of cussing out dark skin because why? Why would you do that? I'm sorry, I don't want to get into it, but that's just.
I mean, we don't need to get into it too deep. I just wanted to find out if anyone's going to find anything that could affect your bag, because you don't know what's coming around the corner.
No, please go and look. Go and look right now. Go and look. You won't find it.
Okay.
It didn't happen. It would not make any sense for me to do such a thing. Number two, why would you? That's like, I'm black. I'm lighter, of course, but I'm still a black person. So why would I have self-hate on something that I am? It makes no sense to me.
No, I hear you. On the topic of being a black man, you are an albino man.
I am, yes.
For those who don't know.
Just in case.
Just in case you can't see, he is an albino man. How is it, because you are black, right? You're black inside, and you're black outside, but also white outside. So, do you find navigating black culture, even though you're black, a little bit difficult, based on how people perceive you because you are an albino man?
No?
Not
at all.
That's actually really good. I'm not sure why I asked that question. Like, I would be shocked that someone would be...
Oh, it makes sense though.
Does it?
It makes sense as to why, because it's similar to, it's a proximity issue. It's similar to light-skinned men being about, pro-blackness. Is the issue going to be there? The fact that, yes, you are black, but you also have a white mother or a white father, and so you can understand why there might be a disdain about it. But no, I've never felt like that. The only reason why I've never felt like that is because I know I'm black. I'm light in pigmentation, yes, but I know that I'm black. Everything I do is black. It's what I support. It's what I am. It's what.
It's not something you even need to assert. No. But I just wondered if people treated you differently.
When I was younger, yeah.
Okay.
But I grew up in a predominantly racist area, if I'm being fair.
Okay.
I grew up in Bermondsey.
Yeah.
It was really bad back then. And also I didn't know what I actually was. I had no, I only ended up doing research about actually what I was. I'd probably say, maybe 10 years ago. Because growing up, I think I probably shied away from it because my parents didn't really talk about it. I think I was the elephant in the room that they didn't want to discuss. But not in a bad way. It was because they wanted me to realise, you're just normal, you're just black. We're not going to separate you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough, and I get it, and I applaud them for that. But also, you should still tell me about this stuff because this stuff is really new to me.
So obviously, growing up in London and in secondary school can be a little bit brutal.
Yeah.
So how was that?
My primary school years were interesting. It was just a lot of kind of like, what are you? And I was like, I couldn't tell you, mate. Because I don't know. I knew I was different, but I didn't know. And the only reason why I knew I was different was because of the look. Like, get on public transport, you just get stares all the way. You're just sitting there just looking at you.
That's not great, is it?
No, I mean, I still get that now.
You still get that now?
Yeah, even though I don't life. I have staring contests with people all the time. Because I find it remarkable.
I mean, do you know what? It's special. It's a nice thing.
Not the way they're looking at me.
Okay.
No.
I tried a positive spin on that.
No, I heard that. Again, it's a compelling argument. Just not the way that they're putting it out.
Okay.
But, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I said, when I was younger, I think it was the most difficult.
Okay.
Because it was really an understanding of, I didn't know what I was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know that. I knew I was black because I had very dark-skinned parents, so I knew I was black. That was my sure thing, but I didn't know why I was different.
I have very dark-skinned parents.
Very dark-skinned. My dad
very dark.
My mother was black and beautiful, so I was like, well, I must be black then. Either that or I did have... there was a point where I thought I was adopted because I was really thinking, did these people steal me? I didn't know what was going on, but eventually I saw my birth certificate, so it was fine. So...
Just a double check.
Make sure. So when I eventually did do study work myself and who I was and stuff like that, I think that reaffirmed just kind of how I felt that, you know what, yeah, I'm different, I'm unique or whatever, but I am still the person I said I was, the fact that I'm a black man.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'd ever in my entire life let anyone tell me differently because I have a proximity to light-skinnedness or because I'm a lack of people. I would never let anyone do that, and I still wouldn't let anyone do that. And it's always worked for me. And that's why I don't think I'd ever let that kind of affect me because I know who I am. So yeah.
Okay. I mean, why would you let that affect you?
Exactly.
You are who you are. It is what it is.
And I'm proud of who I am. So
Exactly.
why wouldn't I?
Okay, so what's next for you on the books? Because I know Corona's been really hard. It stopped everybody's creativity. We're not able to do anything. So how's that? Well,
this coming year, there's just effectively obviously there's no music events, so that's out of it. I'm still getting work, so I'm very grateful.
You know what you didn't mention?
What?
Your NSG tour.
Oh yeah. Actually, that's okay. Before I get to my plan, I'm gonna explain to you why the whole social media following and NSG tour makes so much sense.
Okay.
So, NSG tour was actually literally super. So after the whole Burna Boy Afro Nation thing, people kept adding me things. So I almost became like this it became my thing. So literally, anytime anyone needed a photographer, whether it was a celebrity or just someone who needed work, people get at me. And to be honest with you, I got some amazing opportunities from it.
Okay, nice.
So I remember one day, I can't remember what was it. So I remember I had little like, I'd almost call them like bucket lists for photography. So I wanted to be a tour photographer, even if it was just like once. I said, no, I really want to do it. So I remember NSG announced their tour, and I remember I just tweeted it randomly. I was just like, will you let me go do your London tour or whatever? I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, no, what it is.
You never thinking anything of it. Just
I never really, like, I can't lie to you, I never really do. I say things sometimes randomly. There's a little bit of hope that, oh, maybe they might see it. But I usually tweet and go because I'm busy. So I said it, I was just like, oh, whatever, like, will you guys let me shoot your London tour, whatever. They responded back, said something like, oh yeah, we've seen a lot of people say this, blah, 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 blah. So I'll tell you what, if you can get, I think it was something like 10,000 retweets or something like that. I can't remember the exact number. It was 5,000. If you can get 5,000 retweets.
I mean, honestly,
we'll get
it's a day in park, isn't it, for you?
Well, not really, no. I mean, yes, but no. Yes and no, I see what you mean. But it was 5,000. I was like, alright, cool. So they quoted whatever. Listen, I remember I was at work. They tweeted that at like 10. By 12, I had like 6,000 retweets. Some of the people I've never met in my life. Some of the people I don't even follow. It's because they've seen my work and they just wanted to support. They liked. And they were like, alright, cool. Well, they said that this was even light work. I said, we should have even done double that.
Do you know what I mean? What's 5,000? You're doing that on your regular day, aren't you?
It was very funny, I can't lie. But yeah, it was that was really surreal to me to see that, because people came out, man. I know people came out for Burna Boy.
And that was their first tour, wasn't it?
That was their very first tour. Their first proper tour, yeah.
That was nice for you to be a part of that.
It was beautiful. But honestly, a big respect to the NSG guys, because it was an amazing experience. Like we travelled with Glasgow, Cardiff, London, Birmingham, Manchester. We were in a van, we were in like a tour bus for like literally for a week.
And was it everything you thought it would be?
It was literally everything I thought it would be.
Yeah.
You
ain't got nothing bad to say about those boys?
No. I mean, they're troublesome news.
No one is, you know.
No. They're good lads.
You ain't gonna give us any tea?
No.
Nothing at all?
Download their mixtape. That's the tea you can have.
Wow.
They treated me really, really well. It was nice. It was good to kind of be a part of it. Like travelling back and forth city to city, taking pictures. And again, that brought in loads of other opportunities after that, because it was because of that tour. I got to shoot Sir and some other concerts after that. I got to shoot for Red Bull Studios.
Oh wow!
So it was amazing. That's something that was right under my belt. And again, I feel like when things...
You seem to forget you had this, because I had to remind you.
Yeah, it's how much happened. And this all happened in the space of a year, because the NSG was a couple of months after Afro Nation. So sometimes people are just like, I'm like, look, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm tired most of the time. So a lot of the time I gotta gear myself up and wake myself up to do things. And then go back to sleep again. So I don't take it in. The same thing with the Burna Boy thing.
You need to be taking it in, or
I should, I agree.
Be happy about your achievements.
I should. And I am. But yeah, it is very surreal. So that was like, I think for me, I really knew, you know what, no matter what happens and what opportunities I might get, I'm 100% grateful to the fact that people supported me. And they absolutely have no reason to do it. I'm literally just a little black kid from South East London, and people are just like, whatever you need, like, we're there for you. And that for me, like, it's very humbling.
So what you saying, you're going to tell us about your bag?
No.
You ain't going to tell us what you're gracing?
Well, the bag is good. The bag is very helpful.
Okay.
Someone tried to ask me that after the Burna Boy one. I said,
It's none of their business. So you're not going to give us a little bit, just a little...
Nope.
No.
Not in a sliver. Nope.
So what you saying, like 100k?
Would never tell you that. I'll be honest with you, you'll not find it out from me.
Alright, whatever. So what's the average? Okay, tell me at least what's the average.
I mean, on average, if you're doing a tour, if you're doing a show with these kind of artists, you're looking at about $5 to $1,000. Like on average.
On average.
I want more, but that's what you're looking at.
For sure?
If you're doing a show, it could be it depends. If you're doing one show, it could be like 300 to 400. Could be a little bit more depending on the nature of the artist and depending on what they want. If you're doing videos, a little bit more. If you're doing photographers, it might be a little bit less. Literally all depends. And it also depends on because you can do something for an artist, for example, and then you could sell that on to like gay images or stock images or magazines or platforms.
Also, there's other ways. It's not just from the artist. You redistribute.
And if they're redistributing your stuff, they have to pay to use it because it's part of that. So like I said, it's really important as like when you're doing it to get on these places. And this is another thing a lot of photographers like forget. I think this is something I learned later on. Getting on these places is very, very important because if a big artist comes and you put that stuff on the next day and newspapers, articles and stuff like are looking for images, they're going to go to those places. They're going to have to pay for those images. So that's automatically getting you back. So it's very, very smart. And it's good revenue because that will probably be continued to use, especially if it's a big artist, time and time again, when they're doing articles on that artist or they're doing news or blah, blah, blah.
So they just have to pay for it each time. Damn.
It's dope though. It's very dope.
You guys knew what you were doing when you were getting into photography.
Oh, yes, we did.
What advice would you give to young photographers starting out or for anyone who wants to really build their portfolio like you did?
The first thing I'd say is if you're starting out as a photographer, personally, I think you should shoot free for the start. There's two main reasons for that. If you shoot for free at the start, if anything goes wrong or you mess up anything, there is very little repercussions. Now, that doesn't mean that you can just be nilly-willy and whatever. It just means if a shoot doesn't go great, if you don't get that shot that you didn't want, all that kind of stuff, no one can say anything to you because you've done it for free. You've done a label, you've done a service and nothing was paid. So no matter how it's put, no one can say anything to you. And that's exactly what happened with me. Now, when I was doing photo shoots for free, obviously the work I was producing for me I know was good. However, when I look at my old stuff now and to where I am now, I'm a completely different photographer.
Yeah, because of the progression.
Exactly. But that's exactly what you're looking for because you make that progression once you had the experience to do so. The second thing, like I said, the second thing is experience. The experience that you get from it is what's going to help you down the long run because you're going to know how to talk to people, you're going to know about customer service, you're going to know about when you're on the shoot, the things to say, the things to do, what to prepare, how to prepare, what things you need ready. You learn all of that. And if you're doing all of that at the initial stages, it just means that when it gets to doing shoots where you're paid and you got clients, you built up that experience and stuff you've done for free. So it just gives you that space to kind of make those mistakes. The other thing I say is like shadow, man. Like I follow a decent amount of photographers who I think are pretty dope. Yeah. And
you gonna shout any of them out?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. Like Narcography is one of my favourite photographers. Okay. Camera guy Luke, Saber Scope, like these are all like really dope photographers that I know. And whenever we would meet, whenever we see each other, like they come and do shoots sometimes, vice versa, or wherever I'm with them, I'll just be like, let me come with you. That was a big part of it.
Okay, wow.
I spent a lot of time with like videographers who knew what they were doing, and sometimes like I just go with them and I just see how they do it and learn stuff and ask questions. That's a big part of it. Ask a lot of questions, shadow. Ask a lot of questions, shadow. Like I always bang on about it. And shoot. Like as dumb as it does sound, shoot. The problem is like you get a camera sometimes, it just stays at home after a while and you shoot when you need it. But look, I was shooting when I could.
Yeah.
Landscape.
Anytime you can.
It makes so much more sense. And again, it builds the experience.
So, what's next for you?
What's next? Well, Corona kind of hit my bag a little bit, but thankfully it's not really like anymore. Like business is back to it's booming again, so thank God for that. My weddings have all moved to next year because can't do any more than 6 people at the moment. Yeah,
it's quite hard for creators at the moment.
Yeah, I think creators got hit the most, if I'm being honest with you, because it's all dependent, especially people who do event photography. It's screwed because there's no events.
But I can imagine next year, I assume you are booked and busy.
Yes.
Because you've got so much, everything that's been happening this year has been postponed to next year.
Yes, literally. So everything that I was doing, from the weddings, everything is literally just moving over to next year. So next year is looking very healthy in terms of moolah.
Moolah.
Yes. I've coined that word, moolah. And so I'm hoping, one of some of my goals for next year, I'd love to do another tour if I could, but I also want to take pictures of the first major music event next year after Corona. Like that's big on my list. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try and make it happen.
What, you going to film Drake, yeah?
What if Drake comes? I will be outside the gate. I'll be like, listen.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you're going to be doing a lot of amazing stuff next year.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, I just want to tell a story of a lot of the stuff that I was doing. I feel like I did that a little bit this year, especially being in lockdown. I was away from the client stuff, but I was telling stories as soon as I was taking, like, I was at the protest, the Black Lives Matter protest about 2 weeks ago. And it was amazing to see, but it was amazing to just capture that and captivate that. And it's a story that you're going to tell your kids when they're older and stuff like that. Look what we did because of what was going on. So that's kind of like, that's my purpose.
You're a storyteller at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think that's actually what my purpose actually is. I think that's actually what I was made to do more than anything. And the money isn't really like, it's nice, don't get twisted, I'm not dumb, but the money isn't actually really why I do it. It's actually to tell a story. That's actually.
Obviously, if you're doing something like Burna Boy, with all that money that's.
Tell the story, give me the money.
Well, anyway, I want to say thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you being here. Hopefully next time you'll be able to disclose some of the major...
No!
Okay, well, thank you again, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.